Good morning. This is Faith in Our Hometown, brought to you as a community service and sponsored by Mercy Hospital, Joplin. And now, here's your host, Father Jay Friedel.
Good morning and welcome to Faith in Our Hometown. I am not Father Jay Friedel. I'm actually Aaron Brown, pastor at St. Paul's United Methodist Church in Joplin. And I'm just sitting in for Father Jay. He's a friend of mine, asked me to fill in for him. But I want to welcome you to this time together today. I'm really excited about it because I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Philip McClendon. He is a local icon, legend. He is involved in church. He's involved in a nonprofit that he's the president of. He is doing so many great things and works in mental health too. He's a chaplain at Mercy right now, is a pastor down in Neosho. But he's going to be talking about how we experience positivity through loss. How we experience positivity through loss. And I know in my own life that is what I've experienced this past year, is some loss, and maybe you have too. It is simply a part of life. So we're going to be digging into that, and stay tuned. We'll be right back with Faith in Our Hometown after this Mercy Minute.
It was silly to be so dreading it so much because it was really no big deal. There was no pain afterwards. I was really, really hungry, so I got to have whatever I wanted to have for lunch. But you know, the rest of the day I just slept, and there was no pain, and went to work the next day. Every day that I opened up my refrigerator and saw that referral on my refrigerator, I just dreaded having to go through it. And now I just kind of laugh about it because it was no big deal. And knowing it's behind me, I just don't have to worry about it. Well, my husband and I, we do a lot of riding, and we kind of cram everything into the weekends. But eventually, you know, we'd like to, once we retire, we want to be able to go on vacations on our bikes and go riding on weekends a lot more. So we have a lot to look forward to.
Welcome back to Faith in Our Hometown. I'm here today with Dr. Philip McClendon, and we're going to be talking about loss. Specifically, we're going to start off talking about death. So, God, I was almost called you Dr. Phil. Phil, it's good to have you here, and it's good to be talking with you. So,
thank you, Aaron.
Tell us what's on your heart today and what's going on.
It's such a privilege to be with you and to have known you over these years.
Yeah, we've known each other we've both been in ministry in Joplin for 26 years.
Yes, yeah. So it's a joy to be with you and share with you.
It's good to be here with you.
I know working at the hospital, and as you said with mental health, there are issues that we're all facing, and how do we walk through these issues? And even as a pastor, you've gone through some difficult times in the past months.
Right.
You'll face probably some more because of the time that we're living in. Yeah. And I was reflecting back on Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. She was a Swiss psychiatrist. And in 1968, she wrote a book about death. And her principles have been used over all these years, for many years.
And when did she write the book?
In 1968.
68, so, okay.
It's quite a... But she had 5 steps that every person goes through when they experience a death. And I've watched these over the deaths that I've shared in and gone through grief with. And I shared with you, you know, as a pastor, I think the thing that probably aged me more than anything was the loss of my friends in the church. Yeah. It's something that it's just not grief for one day, but it's you reflect on that person's life, the cherished memories that you have because you're close to people in church, and you've even experienced some in your staff, and that's so I admire what you do and how you do it, and the steps that you take.
You know, as we were talking before the show, this year, or 2020, was particularly difficult because I lost my father. He did not die of COVID, but he died in the middle of the pandemic in May. And because of the pandemic, we had to wait until August to have his service. And, you know, we kind of thought, well, by August, surely things will settle down, and they didn't. But we went ahead and had a small service anyway to celebrate his life. But and when my father died, his wife was able to be there with him in the hospital room, but my brother and I, they only allowed one person in with him when they withdrew life support. And so my brother and I, this is one of those things that seems so surreal. My brother and I watched my father die on a cell phone sitting in the parking lot in a car.
Wow.
So, you know, the stages of grief that you're talking about are so important, because grief has happened and is happening in ways that most of us in our lifetimes would never expect it to happen.
We would never expect to go through the steps that we're going through today. Our families, you know, death is not easy at any time, but especially in these last months, it's been so difficult because the family cannot be in the room. And but the things that they
Is
face,
that still the case? I know it changes from week to week. So are families allowed to be in rooms as their loved ones are dying?
Yes, it changes it all the time.
Yeah,
But usually there's one person, but then at death, then sometimes they allow the family to come in after death, and because of COVID and everything you have to put on.
Right.
So it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
And I admire the nurses and doctors, you know, to help the family walk through that time.
Well, in our case, you know, it was one particular nurse who kind of I almost felt like she stood in for me and my brother, that she was there on our behalf, and her kindness and her presence and her thoughtfulness and her prayerfulness too.
Yes.
Nothing could replace it.
It's amazing the nurses and the doctors, the love that they have, and what they've done, going an extra mile in caring for the family. And you know, knowing that they're standing in, many times they're standing in for a member of a family at those last moments, holding the person's hand and letting them know that they're loved. And it's pretty amazing time that we're going through. You see the depth of a person's commitment, not only in the medical field, but emotionally, mentally, physically. All of those things come into play in the moments of death. And they've cared for this person, and, you know, wishing for healing and recovery.
Well, and you're one of those people that's there in those times of loss and death.
I thought my time for doing that was over.
Because you retired.
Yeah, I retired. I thought, well, I won't be doing this. And you know, when you realize the world that we're living in, you know that God has you. He leaves you here for a purpose.
Wow.
And you know, you want to be a part of that purpose. And if you can help someone's life, help them change their life in those last moments, even to come to know Christ, to know the peace of God in a room, that you can go into a room and the presence of Jesus is so powerful. And you call on His name, and you just know that the angels surround the room. There's so much going on inside a room, especially as you think about the angels, that sometimes the family can't be there, but that doesn't keep the angels out.
Right,
I don't think the angels have COVID, so they're covered.
Thank God for that.
So yes, it's a pretty, it's a world that I never thought I would live in. And
the COVID world,
the
pandemic.
Yes.
Father Jay calls it the plague.
The plague.
Yeah.
So you know, when you're having a difficult day, all I have to do, and probably you as a pastor, if you're having a lot of problems, you think it's overwhelming, all you need to do is go to the hospital. I mean, you can't do that right now. I mean,
in normal circumstances.
Normal.
Yeah.
But you go, you know what? I don't really have any problems. If I'm up and going, and I know that, you know what, God has me here for a purpose, and I better go for what He wants me to do.
Yeah.
So,
in the face of loss and in the face of death, and there's hope. I mean, that's kind of
hope.
A big part of talking about loss and seeing it positively. Is there is hope, and there's a presence. And you know, you talk about angels. I remember visiting an older woman who was just about ready to pass, And we were able to talk a little bit, and then she stopped. And she said, "Can you see them?" And I was like, "See what?" She's like, "Can you see the angels?" Yes. And I said, "No, I can't see them." And she just looked around for a little while longer and then re-engaged me in a conversation. It was really, truly miraculous. So I love hearing that, and that actually gives me some comfort around my father's death.
Yes.
That, you know, it wasn't just his wife and a nurse.
The angels were there.
There were other presences.
Yeah. There was a man that I had the same experience. He was actually a young man. I was talking with him while he was in the hospital, and he looked up. And I didn't know what he was seeing, but he said, can you see the angel?
Can you see him?
And I said, no, I don't, but you know what? I know the angel's here.
They're here.
I don't have to see them. I know they're here.
That's beautiful.
They surround the doctors and nurses and families.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth Ross, she said that the thing that we face, usually the first thing is denial. A lot of people have denial that I don't have cancer, or now a lot of times the accident occurs and the family comes to the hospital, and the first thing they say, no, he's not gone. You know, the doctor will say the person's gone. No, and so we go through denial. We can't.
That's our gut reaction.
Yeah,
our first reaction is, no, this can't be happening. I get that, because we had a staff member die last year because of COVID, and he was 38 years old. And when I got that call, that was my first response, that no, this is not happening.
Yes.
This is not happening.
And that usually takes some time for the person to go through, just getting them through that evening or the first hours. And then there's anger.
Yeah.
You know, why did this happen? Why should I have cancer? You know, whatever problem it is, why should I have that? And there's anger.
So it's the anger that someone might have that is facing an illness like cancer.
Yes.
Denial and anger. And then it's if someone dies of that, or someone else hears that a loved one has cancer. So the stages of loss are not just around death, they're about
everything.
About everything.
We're just, anger is, well, why did the person die?
Sure.
Or they're mad at the person who died. Well, you left me at this time in my life. And so the anger is, you feel the presence of anger. Sometimes these 5 things, of course, they come in stages, but they're not always the same steps, but they're part of life. And then there's the bargaining. That is, God, if you will let this person live, I will do such and such. We all know how to bargain. We live in a world where we bargain. And we do that with death, and with the death of a loved one. It's part of what we do.
Yeah, I can see it, you know, and it's in our nature to want to bargain. It's in our nature to want to bring somebody back. It's almost a form of love, isn't it? Bargaining is to say, what can I do? It should be, or it should have been me. I've had people say that in the face of the death of a loved one. It should have been me.
Yes.
Almost as if they're bargaining.
Yes. And then there's...
Is that healthy? I mean, is that a healthy part of it?
Is part of it, I think, to work through it. Yeah. The person that has the problem is the one who cannot work through the stages. Yeah. If they can't go, if they stop in one of these stages, then we have, it becomes a mental situation, or it becomes...
we get stuck.
We're stuck in life.
Yeah. We're going to have to come back to that thought here in just a minute and continue on with the stages of grief. I hope that you'll stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a few seconds for the next segment here in Faith in Our Hometown with Dr. Philip McClendon.
You're watching Faith in Our Hometown on KSN TV, brought to you as a community service and sponsored by Mercy Hospital, Joplin.
Hey, welcome back to Faith in Our Hometown. We are talking here today, Dr. Philip McClendon and I are talking about loss, about grief, about Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grief, which she wrote about in 1968 and are still applicable today. Humans haven't changed.
We haven't changed.
In how we process grief. So you had talked about the first three stages, which
Yes.
are denial. Help me out here.
Okay, denial,
anger, and bargaining. So we were just talking about bargaining. Was there anything else on that might be getting stuck in a particular phase of grief?
If we get stuck in we have to go through the stages to be healthy and to have a proper perspective of life. And it takes people different time periods to do that. We're all different, but we have to go through them. And it's the person that the healthy person makes it through those stages in a positive way.
Is there like if a person goes through one stage in a certain amount of time, do they go through all the stages in that same amount of time? So if they go through one quickly, the first one, do they move through all of them quickly? And they go through one slowly, they go through them all slowly?
No, I think it's probably the denial. We overcome that because the reality of what's taken place now. And then when we start to the anger, that lingers with us because and people sometimes think, well, it's wrong to be angry at God, but God knows our emotions. He created us. He loves us whether we're angry or we're not angry. So His love doesn't change. And we grasp that as we go through anger, because we become angry, and God said, it doesn't upset Him in heaven.
Right.
He's solid.
Yeah.
And we learn how powerful God is.
And to deny our anger is almost to tell a lie.
Yes.
And when, if you say, I'm not angry, and you are, you create a strange dynamic there.
Isn't it amazing we can create our own problems?
Not me. What are you saying? I never created my own problems.
It's like, okay, when life comes at us and we realize, and I think through death, we realize the love of God, the greatness of God, the power of God. All of those things come into our being when we realize that, well, God, you will walk with me through this. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. And the thought that God is with me is a thing that helps people walk through the stages of life.
Well, that makes me want to ask you, as a chaplain and your experience, so what about people that maybe they don't have that faith life, they don't have that connection to God or that connection yet? Do they go through the same stages of grief as a person of faith?
Yes, I think these stages are whether we are of faith or where we're not of faith. The difficult part is, and that's why you are a great pastor. You're there.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah,
all right. We got it on film.
What happens is you're there every week telling people God's for you, He's with you, and you need Him. And people sometimes don't know that they need God. We go through life thinking we can handle everything on our own, but when it comes to death, we realize, this is out of our hands. And sometimes people come to faith in the experience of a loss of someone, or facing their own, realizing they're going to die. When you talk with people and they can maybe in the hospital and they realize in their physical condition, they'll ask, well, what about this condition? I'm not a doctor. I can't give you any advice on that. But I can tell you this, God's with you. And many times people will say, you know what? That's all I needed to know. That you told me that God is with me. That's a healing in itself.
So we just need to be reminded sometimes.
And we get to tell people that every week.
Hey,
I mean, how many jobs do people have that they pay you to tell them that they need God? Aren't we privilege to do that?
Most of the time I think that. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, this is hard. Especially when you're at the side of someone who is dying or has heard that diagnosis. Sometimes I think, man, this is too hard.
Yeah.
You know, I shared with you that since May I've officiated at 9 funerals.
Wow.
Last year, and one of them being an infant,
Yes.
one being a staff member, 2 of them being friends of mine, and 1 being my own father.
Yes.
And it was overwhelming.
Yes.
The sense of grief. So these stages are important. And we were just on bargaining, so there are 2 more stages.
Yeah, depression.
Oh.
Depression comes, you know, it can come in like waves. It can come and go. Or, you know, and it can last for some time because you see something that reminds you of that person, and you know you feel the loss, and it's an overwhelming feeling that comes into a person's life, and you walk through that. You realize, you know, I may feel depressed here today, but I'll be okay tomorrow. We just walk through depression, and we understand. When a person is depressed, we just, you know, we walk with them through that time. You know, isn't it amazing that wherever we are, even now, see people in line at Walmart or wherever, all the things they're going through, and there's people with a lot of anger right now and different feelings, but we just need to stop and realize, you know what, they're facing a lot of issues.
Yeah.
If I can help them, lift them from one thing today, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Rather than
because somebody might be there walking with that dark cloud of depression because of a loss, or just because they suffer from depression in general.
Yes.
And if somebody's being mean-spirited toward us,
Yeah.
that might be the very reason right there. They may have gone through a loss.
That could be it. And then the last one is acceptance. We accept the death of a loved one or a friend. We accept that, and realizing, you know, that's why Easter is so important to us.
Resurrection.
That's it, the resurrection of Jesus
Death
Christ.
does not win ever.
Never. So we are victorious. And it's what a privilege we have in sharing with people the faith of Christ, the joy of knowing Him, the privilege of serving Him.
One of the things that I've said to people often I guess I don't know what phase or stage it might be within, but that, you know, life won't be the same, but it will be good.
Yes.
You know, that in one sense, grief lasts forever. When you lose a parent or a spouse or a child or a close friend, I mean, that grief lasts forever, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but life can still be good.
Yes, it goes on. You know, I don't know how much time we have.
Go right ahead.
I was reading this book, and it's my own book.
He's quoting himself. All right, you get to do it. You get to do this.
It's a story of Ann Wells. She says, my brother-in-law opened the bottom drawer of my sister's bureau and lifted out a package. He discarded the tissue and handed me the slip. It was beautiful, handmade, and trimmed with a cobweb of lace. Jan bought this the first time we went to New York 8 or 9 years ago, but she never wore it. She was saving it for a special occasion. Well, I guess this was the occasion. My brother-in-law took the slip and put it on the bed, and with the other clothes we were taking to the mortician. His hands lingered on the soft material. Then he slammed the door shut and turned to me. Don't ever save anything for a special occasion. Every day you are alive is a special occasion. Yeah.
Don't save the good stuff for when you're gone. And I think that's true of, you know, I hear this over and over, is when people gather for funerals, they're talking about the person who has died. They're telling the stories. They're together, they're laughing, they're sharing, and almost without fail, somebody will say, why did we wait until now to share these good things? Why did we not share these good things with the person who's no longer with us? And what a lesson that is, along with, that's that story, is
Wow.
Don't
Yes.
wait. Don't
Don't
wait
wait.
to tell people you love them. Don't wait to tell people that you want to be with them. Don't wait to encourage them.
Yes, do it today.
Yeah.
Today is what we have.
Yeah. One other thing I've heard about this, correct me if I'm wrong, the 5 stages, they don't always happen exactly
Right.
in order.
Yes, that's right.
Is that true?
That's
Okay.
true. Yes. Probably the one, the denial, the first one is the one that would be there. But then after that, whether it's anger or depression or, the bargaining,
Yeah.
we work through all of those things. Or people say, well, if I would have done this, or if I would have,
Woulda,
things
shoulda,
could be-
coulda,
it
yeah.
could- that's not, bargaining just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But we have to work our way through that.
And if, I think you and I would agree on this, and if somebody gets stuck in one of those places,
Yes.
reach out.
Yes.
Talk to your friends, talk to your family, call a
Yes.
counselor, talk to a pastor. Don't try and get out of that hole
Yes,
yourself.
on yourself. That is so true. We would have less suicides if we could help people
gosh, yeah.
walk through these steps, because if they don't, it's a problem, and that's why we have a lot of suicides.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Dr. McClendon, Phil, thank you for being here on the show tonight, this morning, and so glad to have this conversation with you. I appreciate your friendship and have a deep respect for you. And keep up the good work of
thank you.
shining that light and encouraging people and walking with people through all the phases of life and death.
Well, thank you, Aaron. It's a privilege to be with you.
It's good to be together, isn't
Okay.
it?
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning on Faith in Our Hometown, and we hope that you'll be back next Sunday as we continue on, and we'll see you in just a second after this quick Mercy Minute.
Hi, I'm Karen Brown. Last year, my sister was diagnosed with ovarian stage 3C cancer in her early 40s. As a mother of 2 beautiful children, I didn't think twice about undergoing genetic testing here at Mercy. Even though I have grandparents and an uncle battle cancer, seeing a genetic counselor wasn't something that ever crossed my mind until my sister's results showed that she was BRCA2 positive.
We've come a long way, especially in about the last 5 years. Genetic testing can pinpoint the cancers that you are at highest risk for in order to detect them earlier or, if possible, prevent them.
My genetic counselor at Mercy, Robin, took note of my family health history and answered all of my questions. She even suggested my brother get tested. Robin said if he tested positive, he may be more likely to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and that is what I lost my uncle to.
There are many other types of cancer that are also possibly hereditary, such as colorectal cancers, pancreatic cancers.
I honestly was prepared to hear that I was positive, but indeed I was negative. And what a huge relief that was, not only to me, but to my family, to know I wasn't at a great risk of developing breast or ovarian cancer.
Diet, lifestyle choices such as smoking or drinking all contribute to our risk for cancer. Genetic testing is taking just kind of one piece of that. Talk to your primary care doctor or your OBGYN and ask for a referral to a genetic counselor.
Hey, it's been great spending this little bit of time with you on this Sunday morning with Dr. Philip McClendon. And I just want to encourage you to think about your own journey of loss and grief and know that you are not alone. And I hope that you'll tune back in next Sunday. It's been great filling in for Jay Friedel, but have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Thanks for watching. Faith in Our Hometown can be seen Sunday mornings at 6:30 and 9 a.m. on KSN. Brought to you as a community service and sponsored by Mercy Hospital, Joplin.